What's up, boys? All right, well, welcome to Sniping Class 101. I'll be your teacher. Yes, this is probably the only class you'll enjoy sitting through. There's a million guides on sniping out there, but I promise you this will be the most extensive one. First half of this video is going to be how to snipe and everything you need to know about it, even what it is. And the second half is going to be filters and extra stuff, so skip where you need to. I suggest watching the whole thing, but that's just me. So first things first, what the heck is sniping? Sniping is buying players for low, selling them for high. I talk about it a lot in a lot of my videos, but a lot of people still seem to not understand it. It is really confusing if you've never played Madden Mobile before. So, as you can see, here's just a random, this would be considered a snipe, or sniping. If I were to have bought any of these players that I was just looking at, but now are gone. Sometimes you have to refresh a lot of times before you see them. So I typed in elite players for 10,000 coins. All elite players are worth more than 10,000 coins. They're all worth about 25,000. So someone, somewhere, some stupid guy out there in the world sold Jordy Nelson for 101 coins. Obviously, he's worth more than that. Sniping involves buying that player really, really quickly when he drops. So a lot of times people say, well, what the heck? The item's already sold. How do you know when these players reset? How do you know when it's going to drop? That's where this whole guide comes into it. So all these players sold, and I need to know when they're going to refresh. Now, this is where it gets a little confusing, and you really got to try and rewatch this and understand it. Every 5 minutes, players drop, but it's the same 5-minute increments. For example, in the morning, say at 7 a.m., right at 7 a.m., like 7:00, players are going to drop. And then at 7:05, a new batch of players are going to drop. Then 7:10, then 7:15, then 7:20. However, you need to understand that as the day progresses, it becomes a little bit later. You can think of it as it's a 1 second later every round. So let's say it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You wake up and you're playing. And right now, it's 4:20 for me.
Smoke weed
but
every
it's
day.
about midday. So it's not going to be 4:20 on the dot. As you can see, no new players have dropped as I'm refreshing. But it's going to be maybe like 4:20 and 30 seconds in. And I know it's kind of funny that's 4:20 and I'm making this right now. Not high. Yeah, that's not a good sniping technique. Don't be high while you're sniping. It's not going to help you out. So sometimes it's a little laggy. Like sometimes they'll say no auctions found, but sometimes they'll all pop back up. So I'll try and get these elite players right now. Elite players are generally really hard to snipe because a lot of the best people with the best Wi-Fi, and there's cheaters out there, and I'm not even going to talk about that. But yes, so probably not going to win in this round. And I think the round might have already came, and it did. And oh wait, no, it didn't. Round did not come yet. So you can see that same batch is still up. So I'm going to know this round came as soon as I see new players pop up. And I'm going to try and buy them. Oh, shit. No way. Oh, see, obviously I didn't win that. I wasn't going very fast. I wasn't fully prepared for it. But what I do know now is exactly 5 minutes from now, another round's going to happen. So right there, that was about 4:20 and 50 seconds into 4:20. So it was like 10 seconds before 4:21. So now at 4:25 and 50 seconds in, it's going to drop again. But earlier at about 7 a.m., it would have been 7 a.m. on the dot. So it's kind of like a little deteriorating thing. So we call them 0 and 5. So if you've ever heard someone talk about snipe times, they're saying 0, it's usually either 0 and 5 or 1 and 6, meaning that's the last minute digit of what time it is. So I'll run through it one more time. It's 7 in the morning. You just woke up. You go in. You're going to try and snipe elite players for 10K. I don't suggest doing that. You're going to get wrecked. Get wrecked, mate. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. You're going for elite players for 10K, and you refresh right at 7 o'clock, maybe 5 seconds after 7 o'clock. Bang, it's going to drop. And then next time, it's going to be maybe 6 seconds in, then 7 seconds in. And then you get to a point in midday, about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock p.m., that it switches over to 1 and 6. Now, that means 4:21, 4:26, 4:31, 4:36, 4:41, 4:46. And that's what I'm going to be going for the rest of these times. So that is the time that new players are going to refresh. So every time a player is sold, the next 5 minutes, it will leave the auction house. It will leave the auction house on that next increment. So that's why when you buy something and then it leaves the auction house, that means it's leaving. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. I know that is super duper hard to understand. And a lot of people still don't get it even after I talk about it. And then people say something like this. They'll say, Madden Mobile Gods, nothing dropped. What do I do? What am I doing wrong? That just means no one dropped in your filter. And I'll talk about filters next and a bunch of filters that you guys can use for sniping. But basically, you want to kind of develop a rhythm, and you want to not necessarily always go for the best stuff. But let's just try, gold players for 1,000, just so the next thing I'll do in this is gold players for 1,000. Right now it's giving me leave collectibles. Sometimes it does this. Do you see how I don't have collectibles selected, but it still does collectibles? All you got to do is click select is click select collectibles, and then go back in and unselect it, and it'll take them out. So boom, all gold players sell for like 1,750. So it's not a lot, but the beauty of this is you can scroll for forever, and there's always players in it. Meaning, even if super fast people were on these right at the start, right, like all of these front runners, you can like scroll down. It's called scroll sniping, and that's a little more in depth. But like if there's a filter where a ton of people drop at once, it's really, really easy to scroll down, randomly click someone and click on them, because you don't really have competition there, because who else is scrolling and clicking that same person? Probably just you. So scroll sniping is really easy. That's just in a filter where a lot of people drop like all the time. So you can just scroll and not get wrecked in the first 2 slots. We call them slots, being the slots that the players drop in. So right now it's 4:23. Like I said, at 4:20, 50 seconds after 4:20, or you could say 10 seconds before 4:21 is when my last round dropped. So I'm going to wait till 4:25, 50 seconds in, or 10 seconds before 4:26, like I'm saying. So I'm going to pull up my computer clock here, because it's just so much easier when you do that. So right now I can see it's 4:24 and 15 seconds. So I'm not even going to like look at this round right now. But basically, that's sniping. You're going to wait those every 5 minutes. That's when players are going to refresh. And obviously, this is how you make so many coins. This is hands down the best way. I talk about live event grinding. I talk about a million things, and I do all of them. They all are good. But those rely a little more on luck. This is about patience and being fast and developing the finger rhythm with your hands. You can really just... I get really, really good at it, because I've been doing this for like 2 years now. So I suggest this is hands down. There's no better way to make money in Madden Mobile. So the thing you have to do is filters. So we know exactly when players are going to drop. We know exactly how to get them. We just don't know right now is who are we looking for. And I said elite players for 10K, and I said gold players for 1,000. But those are basic filters. So we'll start off with basic filters. I'll talk about basic filters first, and then I'll talk about a ton more down the road. And I'll give them each their little graphic banner designed at the start so you can scroll through and find them, because I'm just a nice guy. So gold players for 1,000. We'll do this one next, because I'm pretty sure all gold players sell for like 1,750. Let me double check myself on that. Always, always, always check what players are selling for before you go in to snipe them. So as you can see, all gold players are selling for 1,750. So if I sold one for 1,750 and took off the 175 coins for the auction, I make 500 coins every time I snipe gold players for 1,000. So I'm sitting in this. It is about to drop. This round is about to drop if it didn't already. So as you can see, these all set items sold. So the round has not dropped yet. I'm refreshing, and I'm ready. I'm ready to just scroll snipe, because I don't even feel like going for those first 2. And as you can see, it says those first 2 aren't sold, but that's just a little bug with the game where they get bought, but it just says bid failed, and boom, new round. New round, let's go. Bernard Pollard, give it to me. Give it to me. Yup, 1. Come on, let's go 2. 2. 3. Give it to me. 800, let's go. Oh, that's a team of the week. The team of the week golds are worth a ton. So right now I'm actually doing really well. I just got I got a triple snipe right there. Here, can we go? Oh, I lost on the quadruple. That guy got me pretty fast. And see how I'm scrolling, and it's like really easy. Like they're still really rampant. But you know, if you're like in the first 2 slots or something, they're gonna be gone like that. So don't even worry about that. So boom, that was a scroll snipe right there. It was exactly at 4:25, 50 seconds. I was using that clock on my computer. So let's imagine I'm doing this 8 hours later. It's not going to be, you know, 10:25 and 50 seconds p.m. It's probably going to be like 10:26 and 30 seconds in. So you definitely got to really like pay attention to that and think about that when you're doing it. So no, the first time you come into it, you're not going to know the exact times. But let's say you come in at 11 p.m. You're at least educated. You know it's not going to be 11 o'clock on the dot. You know it's not going to be 11:01 on the dot. It might be a little bit after 11:01 on the dot. So if I were you and you didn't know the snipe times, you came in at 11:01, I would go in at 11:01 and 10 seconds in, and then I would just start. And just be patient, sit there for 30 seconds. Once you figure out the exact time, wait 5 minutes and 1 second after that, if that makes any sense. So, we just bought all those gold players, and I honestly don't even know which gold players I bought. But just as an example, I'll sell all these crappy ones I have for 1,750. So we'll go right here. We'll go 1,750 and 1,000. These are like pretty much the players I bought. I don't know exactly which ones they were. So I'll sell all these guys, and I made a bunch of coins on each of them. Now, let's get into some filters. So, you know exactly how to snipe, but you don't feel like sniping gold players for 1,000 because really that's not going to make you that many coins. So there's a lot of different filters you can use. For one, we start out with basic filters. I showed you guys just gold players, elite players. I mean, just stuff that doesn't take any thinking. Now here is where I'm going to tell you some, but at the same time, I'm really only telling you a concept. I don't want you to use these exact filters, but I want you to think about them and find your own. Because if I expose it on YouTube, 150,000 people or whatever views this video gets are going to absolutely bombard that filter, and it's not going to work. So let's start out with dual filters. Now, that's not a real name. It's just a name I came up with right now. But dual filters are a filter where two players have the exact, well, obviously they're the same name. It's the same person. Two players of the same name, but have different cards, have totally different value. So, for example, elite players for 10,000. That's just any elite player for 10,000, and that's going to be hoarded by a lot of people. But let's take a look at Sammy Watkins' 86 overall card. There is no way to differentiate from the 86 overall Team of the Week Sammy Watkins and the 86 overall Game Changer Sammy Watkins. Now, the Game Changer Sammy Watkins has +2 speed, which is one of the most revered things in this game. Everyone wants the +2 speed Sammy Watkins, and the +2 speed Dwayne Harris, and the +2 speed Odell Beckham Jr. So, one, on the left, you see Team of the Week Sammy is worth jack shit. He's worth like 20,000 coins. On the right, you see Sammy Watkins Game Changer worth 300,000 coins. And now he's probably not worth 300,000. He's probably worth more like 220,000. That's usually his going rate. Yeah, 232, 225. You play enough Madden like me, you tend to just know people's values. 223,000. I think I was pretty darn correct on that 220K. 250K. Exactly. So here's my point. And let's see if we can get a snipe right now. I actually could technically get one right now. And there's one for 224. So here's a dual filter. Nobody can differentiate the Team of the Week Sammy and the Game Changer Sammy. But if you're patient and you just type in Sammy Watkins every time and you refresh on that 425, 50 seconds or whatever it is, and you scroll all the way down to all the Sammy Watkins, you might find this Game Changer Sammy Watkins for 50,000 coins. Now, the only people that are going to see that is the people who are actually looking for it. And you could buy him for 50,000 coins, boom, right on the spot. You could sell them for 220,000 coins. And you wouldn't have gotten beaten by somebody super fast doing it because that person can't type in Game Changer Sammy Watkins. It doesn't work that way. You can only type in Sammy Watkins, and you can't differentiate by program. So, pretty crazy. Dual filters are crazy. I'll tell you one more dual filter player, which is Dontari Poe. Or you know what? You can do... I was about to say another one. I'm not going to do it. I want you guys to find these on your own. Dontari Poe has the base Dontari Poe. He has the annoying fullback Dontari Poe. So if you want to just go D-tackle, you can. Then there's the +2 awareness Dontari Poe, who's a really, really cool card as well. He doesn't have incredible more value than the base, but he has about 40,000, 50,000 coin gap. So if you're doing the exact same thing with this Dontari Poe, you can do the exact same with them. And I suggest doing this method when Game Changers are actually out, so that you can benefit most from this. So here I'm going to go elite players for 15,000. I know it's going to have a lot of competition, but my round is going to drop in about 5 seconds here. So the only really way I could get these elite players for this is if I scroll sniped it, meaning I went like this, and I did exactly what I just did. And how did I lose that? Good God, I was so fast. Oh, here we go. Okay, we got Terrence Newman. Or Tyrone Crawford, not Terrence Newman. All right, cool. I thought I was so fast to that someone, but and I can actually tell you exactly why I lost that. And this is where we get into the in-depth stuff. I only did elite players 100 to 15,000 by now. I scrolled and just randomly clicked this one, it was the Emmanuel Sanders Football Outsiders, who happened to be for 4,500 coins. That one's for 15,000, so that's not the one I clicked on. I clicked on this one for 4,500 coins. So someone else probably was doing elite players for 5,000 coins, and instead of the Emmanuel Sanders popping up in that big scroll down side, he probably was one of the first. Wow, I am just so good. Look at him. Right there in the first slot. So someone going for elite players for 5,000 got him right in that first slot, and they got him way faster than me, swiping and then clicking on him. So what I could have done is typed in buy now 10,000 minimum to 15,000 maximum, and that would let it be so that I'm only getting the players that are not going to pop up in the first slot for someone under 5K. Super confusing. I don't know if you got that or not, but that's exactly why I just lost that one. But I still won the Tyrone Crawford for 15K. He's probably only going to sell for 22,499. I believe that's the going rate of all base elites right now. So I'll go 22,499. I'll go 17,500, and I'm going to make 5K. Not awesome, but that's pretty good. So that was just me sniping in the middle of this thing. This is kind of like Road to a Million, but a lot more in-depth. So we talked about dual filters, we talked about basic filters. Now let's talk about slow filters. This is like major patience filters. You need to be a freaking solid man, but it's good. It's really, really solid if you can do well on these filters. So basically the concept behind this is these players are going to drop once a day, maybe. And you got to get really lucky to see it, because I don't expect everyone to be patiently waiting there every 5 minutes. But if you are in there on that one time a day when it drops, you will make 800K and you will have no competition. That's the idea behind it. So I'm not going to tell you an exact filter, but let's just look at let's just look at 98 Barry Sanders, for example. 98 Barry Sanders costs a shit ton. Now, no one is sitting here waiting for a 98 Barry Sanders to drop for $1 million, but we will. That's the point. So if you have 1 million coins, which I don't expect a lot of you have 1 million coins, and Barry Sanders is selling for 2 million. Let's say someone dropped him for $1 million. Who the heck is waiting for him to drop for $1 million? Nobody. But if you bought him for $1 million and sold him for $2 million, you just made 800K like that. And that was just, it was so easy. There was no competition. You weren't racing. You just were super freaking patient. So what you can do is you can mash these players up with each other. So really, really quickly, I'll just show you a really basic one, 98 to 99B. That's going to give me Barry Sanders and Bo Jackson, 2 best halfbacks in the game. Luckily, there's no one else in this filter to make it annoying. If there was someone else in this filter, I would have just done team and done Oakland and Lions. Sorry about that. I had a little trouble recording, but regardless, like I was saying, slow sniping filters, you're basically looking for really expensive players to get them for a good price, but not super cheap, so that you don't have a lot of competition. Then you sell them for a lot more, get a lot of coins. So, aside from that, let's look at some like elite collectible filters. Now, a lot of people are always going for players. You can't forget about the collectibles. So, a lot of times, after legend packs are out, people stop going for legend collectibles because they're like, legend packs are out, no one's going to drop legend collectibles. They do. People drop legend collectibles like crazy. Year collectibles are generally the more expensive ones, but there's a lot of week collectibles that are expensive too. You just don't want to go for the position collectibles always, because a lot of position collectibles have the live event, and you did this. It's not even worth it for that. So I just typed in week there, and I might have typed something in wrong because I feel like something would already popped up, but they didn't. So, for example, all week collectibles right now are selling for 12,000 or 12,000 or more. So if you were to go for 7,500, you're making a profit on any of them. Now this one's really a gimme. It's actually really fun doing this, because let's say you get Shannon Sharp. No one cares about Shannon Sharp. It's going to be worth like 15K, which is good. You still made profit, but let's say someone dropped Deacon Jones, Lawrence Taylor, Anthony Munoz, something amazing, and you get it. Then it's like, holy freaking crap. So either you can camp for that player. So if I wanted to camp like Taylor year collectibles for, 75K or something, I don't even know what they're going for right now. They're going for a little bit less than that. Let's say I camp Taylor year collectibles for 50K. Now, I could only be going for that, which would be good. I could get it for any price from 1,000 to 50K. And at the same time, I could camp all year collectibles for, 7,500. And then it would then be any year collectible. I could get Lawrence Taylor. I could get Ahman Green. So that's like a little bit of a differential there for those elite collectibles, but that's fun. Aside from that, you can do stuff like Donald Penn's, Captain collectible, which is kind of expensive because he's still a really good card, but it's losing value as we get deeper into Madden because people care a lot less. Whoa! Wow, I'm good. Oh, I'm good. Okay, well, I just made an easy 25K coins, just literally from that. It's worth a little more than 45K. It's worth like 50K, I think. That's actually really crazy that I just got that right there. So see what I mean? No one was sitting on a Donald Penn Elite Collectibles filter, but the next lowest is 60K. So I'm gonna sell mine for $49,999, and I'm gonna make some freaking coins. Let's go. That's awesome. Alrighty, well, as you can see, this is clearly effective. It just worked in the middle of one of my videos. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, these are a ton of filters. This is all about sniping. I hope everything makes sense to you. I feel like I covered everything. I've got all the filters, and I taught you how to snipe and basically how it's working. So I truly hope this guide has helped you. This is hands down the best way to make coins in Madden Mobile. There's really no better way. I mean, if you get lucky in live events, it's awesome, but the most consistent, most reliable way that you can make coins is by sniping. And that's basically it. If you don't like sniping, I'm very, very sorry for you. Grind out your live events, or this maybe isn't the game for you. I'd say that's about it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. As always, destroy, obliterate the like button, because I never asked for likes, but I feel like this video is going to help a lot of people, so I think it should be up there. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, as always, and take care.